Hello everyone, I'm Ryan, and this is a quick introduction for spline tools for Unity. If you want to create splines, paths, and make objects follow them, hopefully you are in the right place. So here I have an empty project with just the spline tools imported, and I have a basic scene with a capsule that we will make move on a spline. So first off, let's right click and create a spline and drag it and drop it to the scene, and we will get our handy menu that will have our tools. So while you have the spline selected, all you have to do is control and left click on any collider you have, and you'll start immediately drawing a spline. You can click on 2 points by shift and clicking on the other point, and you can draw a line. You can also subdivide that line, or you can remove the line. If you select 2 points, you can remove the line between them. You can press X to delete a line, and let's try to move the objects on the spline. So let's click on the capsule and add the move object physically script. It will add the rigid body and the full spline, and it will ask us for a spline. So let's give it the spline and move it on awake, and let's see. So it starts moving on the spline as you'd expect. So another thing you can do with it, you can click on a point, and you can control left click on anywhere else, and you'll notice that it draws a point. It draws the line from that point. So it have so you can have multiple ways going from a single point. And what will happen here is that the capsule will decide where to go, um, as you would specify it. So here you have the control type. It's set to player controlled. So the player controlled type will uh, will make uh, will need an arrows. So let's provide the arrows, and you'll see what will happen here. So once you hit this point, you can select whether to go to the right or to the left, and you can pick random, so it will move randomly between those two paths. And what's also more interesting, you can click on the capsule and you can add events on the points. So when you reach a point, you can make an event fire. So for example, when clicking on add events, it will make the points a little bigger, so you can select them and add an event here. So let's for example make the capsule disappear. Just select it and call the set active false, and when it reaches here, it will disappear. Okay, cool. Another way you can add events, you can click on any point and write a method name here. So what this will do, it will call the function on any script on the moving object. So if you have a method, a function with a name, for example, kill or shoot, and you just write here shoot, for example, it will call that event. It will call that function for you when you reach this point. And you can see the demo scenes here and see what's happening. So for example, in the first scene, you can see it's moving on the spline, and it's changing its color whenever it reaches a point. Just as we did, we made an events here, edit events, and you can click here. So as you can see, it calls a function with the name change color to, and the second scene have a player controlled object and AI controlled object, so you can visit these scenes and check what's happening. So this one is more interesting. This one has some kind of mesh applied to the spline, so you can see the spline mesh, um, and this is generated automatically, so you can move the spline and update the generate the mesh, and as you can see it follows the spline. And you can also see the documentation here, and that's actually it. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, please ask them here in YouTube, or give me an email, and thanks a lot.